Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu 5 speaking, and today I have a review on the Emerson Super Commando. And before I get started on the specs and the actual review, there's just a couple of things I want to state. First off, if you were to ask me a few years ago that I would be shelling out the money for a Emerson knife, I probably would have called you crazy. I was not a big fan of the Emerson knife company a while back, just for a couple of reasons. One, they were expensive, and two, I had a bad experience with a Emerson titanium lino lock. My brother owned two Emerson knives. One of them I really liked, but the other one was a Emerson Horseman, and I did not like it. And you could literally grab the knife, put your thumb on the spine of the blade and push, and the lock would fail. And ever since this happened, I've always been a little bit suspicious of the titanium lino lock and Emerson knives in general. I was afraid of them, and for a company that claims to be the #1 hard use knife in the world, in the famous in the worst places, I didn't believe it. I was afraid of them. I didn't think I could trust them. But eventually my brother was able to fix his knife. He hyperextended the lock, and now it's a very durable, tough lock. It doesn't fail. He can oval strike with it. It's a strong lock. And after we fixed it, I started looking at some of the Emerson designs that I thought looked good, and I finally decided that I wanted to test it out for myself and have my own Emerson knife to test out for myself. So this is my first Emerson knife, and for the most part I'm really happy with it. This is the Emerson Super Commando, and it is the next size up from the regular Commando. The regular Commando is 3.75 inches. To me, that's a small knife. So I went ahead and got the Super Commando, which is a 4-inch blade, which still to me is more of a medium-sized knife. I know to some people that's a big knife, but I tend to lean towards larger size knives. And like I said, first initial impressions out of the box, my first thought was this knife is extremely sharp. Has textured G10, a very, in my opinion, beautiful black coated blade. And if you've been watching my channel here lately, you know that this black coated blade is very durable, very tough. I opened up paint cans, well, not paint cans, but food cans with it. Cut bamboo with it. I really used this knife, and outside of a little bit of scuffing, which you can probably see, the blade finish is still on the blade. It hasn't scratched off. It hasn't worn off or anything like that, and I'm very pleased with that. I can honestly say if I would have done the same thing with a Cold Steel Recon 1, that the coating would have came off. So this is a superior coating on the blade. Another thing that really kind of turns me off of Emerson is the price. This knife cost about $250. That's a pretty expensive blade. Just to put things into perspective, for that amount of money, you can get a nice cold steel Espada with the aluminum handle, polished G10, waved feature, 5.5-inch blade. You can buy two G10 Espadas for that price, which has the wave feature, G10 handle, and triad lock. The nice little Espada though the original Espada can hold 600 pounds on its lock. I can't remember how much the G10 Espada can hold, but you can buy 4 Spartans for the price of this one knife. So if you're a fan of the recoil blade, you can buy 4 of these Spartans, which has the recoil blade, wave feature, and a triad lock for the price of this one knife. You can also buy 4 of these extra large Voyagers with a 5.5-inch blade and a triad lock for the price of this one knife. So it's not a cheap knife. It's a pretty expensive knife. But I have found with my testing, the Espada being my go-to self-defense knife that I carry, I'm a whole lot more willing to use this Super Commando and use it hard than I am my Espada, which can hold 600 pounds. I can't quite explain it. I am a whole lot more willing to use this knife, cut bamboo, which is a tough job for any folding knife. You know, open up food cans, cut up carpet. I'm a whole lot more willing to use this knife than I am the cheaper Espada, which is from testing is a whole lot stronger knife as far as its locking mechanism. And I can't quite explain it. It's like having a hammer and having a nicely engraved sterling silver hammer. The sterling silver hammer might cost less because it's made overseas, like this one, but still this one just screams use me, and I use it. So I'm really happy with its performance as a knife itself, as a tool. But I told you what my initial impressions of this knife was mostly happy. This is the big disappointment with this knife, and it is the fit and finish. Now I don't know how well you can see this, but they situated that pocket clip where it's hanging over that body screw, and to me that just looks sloppy. You pay $250 for this knife. You have plenty of room to move that pocket clip over a millimeter. I mean, you have a whole lot more room than that. So I just think that for the money that you pay for this knife, they could have moved that pocket clip over just a little bit, and it would look so much nicer. Now I know this is being nitpicky, but like I said, you spend over $250 for this knife. I think I'm allowed to be a little bit nitpicky. But I can tell you from experience and my testing with this knife that this does not affect the performance of the knife itself. This knife is very easily waved from the pocket and deployed, and it's not uncomfortable to the hand. It's actually very ergonomic and very comfortable in the hand. And although that little issue right there annoys me and gets on my nerves, it does not affect the performance of the knife. So I'm not going to even worry about, you know, sending it back to get fixed. That's just an issue that gets on my nerves, but to me it's not worth the trouble of sending it back to the company to get the pocket clip moved over just a little bit. But I thought I would show that to you. This is an expensive knife. I think they should be able to move the pocket clip over just a little bit. They have plenty of room. Overall, I am extremely happy with this knife as a tool. If I had to put this in a category of what type of knife it is, I would put it in the category of tactical EDC. And what I mean by that is it's an EDC knife that military law enforcement could use and abuse and not have to worry about it. Um, Although it is an expensive knife, I feel that a military man or law enforcement officer can buy this knife and use it for tasks such as cutting zip ties, digging into food cans or ammunition cans, cutting up tiles, and they can use this knife and not feel bad about it. And to me, that's where this knife really shines. It's a tool forced, and I have no problem using it as a tool. I'm Satsu5. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I am out.